The scene is over. The girl is dead. The other has run. There is nothing left to witness. And yet, the chair rocks by itself. That one image does more damage to the reader than the death that preceded it. Because death is human. But a chair that rocks when no one is in it, that is something else entirely. That is the story that isn't finished with you. Today we are dissecting the waiting object, the craft decision that transfers horror from a person to a thing, and why the thing is always more terrifying. Most writers end horror scene on the victim. The character screams, the door slams, fade to black. The reader closes the chapter and exhales. And that is precisely your mistake. The moment you end a human being, even a dead one, you have given the reader permission to move on. Because human suffering, however dark, is comprehensible. We understand grief. We understand violence. We understand loss. What we don't understand, what we cannot understand, is an object that keeps moving after the event have concluded. The chair that rocks, the light that flickers in an empty room, the cup left on the table that no one placed there. The human drama creates tension. The object that outlasts it creates dread. These are not the same thing. The waiting object is any object in your story that continues its action after the human drama has ended. Not during, after. The timing is everything. In chapter 1 of my novel Julia, which you can find in Amazon by the way, a child falls from a rocking chair. She dies. The other girl runs. The scene should be finished. The chair keeps rocking. One word follows. Waiting. The single word reclassifies everything that came before it. The reader returns in their mind to every moment the chair appeared. They reread the scene without moving their eyes. And they realize the object was never passive. The children were not the story. The children were the occasion. If the chair rocks while Lila is alive, it is atmosphere. The reader notes it and move on. But if the chair rocks after she is dead, after the scene should be finished, it becomes something that cannot be categorized. It becomes the true protagonist of the scene. This is what separates a frightening event from a haunting presence. Event ends, presence does not. I want to draw your attention to something specific. In Julia, the entire weight of this technique rests on a single word: waiting. Not the chair continuing to rock, not as if something still is in it. No 3 sentences of atmospheric description. One word. Because the waiting object does not announce itself, it does not explain, it does not comfort the reader with elaboration. The moment you describe why the object moved, you have destroyed the fact. The horror lives in the gap between what the reader sees and what the reader cannot explain. Your job is to preserve the gap, not to fill it. Not every object qualifies as a waiting object. There are 3 categories you should know. The first, the instrument of harm. This is the object that caused or witnessed the event. The chair Lila fell from, the knife, the glass. When this object continues its actions after the scene, it signals that violence was not accidental, it was invited. The second, the comfort object, a child's toy, a wedding ring, a photograph. When a comfort object behaves wrongly after a human loss, the horror is compounded because the reader's instinct was to find safety in it. The betrayal is double. The third, the threshold object, a door, a window, a mirror, objects that exist on the boundary between spaces. When these move without cause, they signal that the boundary itself has been compromised. The reader no longer knows which side of the door is safe. If you are building a psychological thriller and you want your scenes to haunt the reader long after the chapter ends, this channel is built for exactly that. Subscribe. Every lesson here is a system, not a suggestion. Let's do an exercise. Now you write it. Here is your exercise. Take any scene you have already written, or invent one now, in which a human event concludes. A fight, a death, a departure, a betrayal. The scene ends. The human drama is over. Now identify one object that was present during that event. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What did the object witness? 2. What does it want, if it were capable of wanting? 3. What is the single action it can continue performing after the humans have gone? Now end the story on that object. 1 sentence, no explanation. Do not tell the reader why it moves. Do not comfort them. Do not close the door. If you have done it correctly, the reader will not be able to stop thinking about that room. Post your single sentence in the comments, and I will read every single one. The waiting object is not a trick. It is a philosophy of horror. It says, the world does not reset after the event. The room remembers. The object keeps its record, and it will be there, still moving, long after you have tried to forget. That is the lesson from chapter 1 of Julia. The chair does not stop, neither does the dread. Use it deliberately, use it sparingly, and never ever end your horror scene on a human being. This is MindTwist Academy.